Hey y'all, this your boy Jamal. Sorry I've been absent here last night. I was going to do a live stream during the debates. But I'm going to tell y'all, working that jackhammer for 9 hours straight, having a solid concrete dust, my body was tired and aching. So I will be live tonight because I got to talk about some things that I heard today on the KCO Day morning show listening to KC. Did y'all know the prosecutor thugs who are prosecuting everyone from J6, the one that's calling for the most time? He was in a drinking and driving incident, tried to wreck, abandoned the car, got out, stabbed somebody in the arm repeatedly, and people had to hold him. Will he be arrested in the district court? Will he be taken off? Let's see. Now, let's talk about something else, because I tried to watch some of the debate last night. Let me tell y'all, bring y'all down memory lane real quick. Ron DeSantis up there talking about, let me run on my record in Florida, which is a good record. That's a good record. You cannot deny that. But let's also talk about that's Florida, not the whole United States. Ron DeSantis does not know what it is to have Mitch McConnell as your Senate leader and Paul Ryan as your speaker. People who don't want to do what you promise the American people to do because they are more loyal to their donors. They are more important. They are the most important, their donors. Then you have to deal with Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell supporting the people, the business executives who want cheap labor, who don't want things stopped. Then Ron DeSantis don't know what it is to have a judge in Washington state say you can't continue to build a border wall in Texas. Yeah, a Washington judge ruled that you can't build a wall in Texas. See, Ron DeSantis don't know anything about that. And I see a lot of people who support Ron DeSantis say, well, Donald Trump promised this, and he tried. Do you remember who stopped Donald Trump? Judges in states that had nothing to do with what he was talking about. Remember the judge that stopped the travel ban for the whole United States? But when a conservative judge did that to Joe Biden, they said, well, he can't stop it just before his district. They literally said he couldn't stop it, but for Donald Trump, he could. See, Ron DeSantis has never had to experience that. Ron DeSantis have a super red House, a super red Senate, a conservative attorney general, and everything conservative Supreme Court. He should do the things he's promised to do. He should. But what happens when Ron DeSantis don't have these things? And you're dealing with the whole nation. Can he handle it? No. I live here in North Carolina. We got a supermajority House. We got a supermajority Senate. And you know what the North Carolina House and Senate passed? Medicaid expansion. We can override the governor. Haven't did it. We could pass strict voting rights here. You cannot do mail-in ballots, limiting early voting to about 2-3 days. Did they do that? Nope. Why? We got a conservative Supreme Court here. And there's a conservative Supreme Court in Washington. Did they do it? No. See, it's different when you can actually punish people. Like Ron DeSantis, he removed prosecutors. That's great. He removed prosecutors who aren't doing their job in Florida. That's what I wish we could do here in North Carolina with a conservative judge, with a conservative governor. Mark Robinson. Okay? Mark Robinson, support Mark Robinson. But what happens when Ron DeSantis is president? What happened with the George Floyd, fentanyl Floyd riots? Huh? What happened when you had states where governors are refusing to enforce immigration laws or refusing to deport people? What are you going to do? You can't remove them. Now, great job he did exporting those illegals up Martha Vineyards, and all these other states, and Governor Greg Abbott's doing great from Texas, send them up to New York. But they're not even sending 10% of what they're getting. And they're crying because they can't deal with 100,000 illegals. But see, that's the difference about, and Chris Christie, we're going to start calling him Donald Duck. Why should President Trump participate in that? Come on, why? And people criticizing President Trump because President Trump has said, you know, if we do a national abortion limit, it needs to ban, it needs to be just 15 weeks. Well, why is he doing that? Because in 2022, we had our red wave taken away. Why? Because we found out a lot of so-called conservative women, a lot of so-called conservative women who are Republican, believe you have a right to murder your children. That's right. A lot of conservative Republican women jumped ship to stop abortion bans. That's a fact. And Donald Trump knows that. So what Donald Trump is saying, if I can at least get it so nationally, no state can go past 15 weeks. No state. We can push this abortion issue back. It's not looking good for us when it comes to that, because we found out a lot of people who sat around us and said pro-life ain't. When it comes to their little daughter slutting it out, and she gets pregnant, you want her to abort the baby because you want her to finish college. You want her to finish college. You don't want the baby to ruin her life, but she open up her legs. See, that's the stuff Donald Trump is talking about, that none of them on the stage can deal with. None of them. Talk to you later.